Hey everybody, this is Avaris Paradox and welcome back to Monstrum. So for today we're going to do things a little bit more different. I just want to sort of sit down and talk to you since it's been a long time since I've actually got to sort of recap what's been going on in my life. But let's go ahead and hop into the game before we get any of that started. And we're basically going to sort of use the gameplay as a backdrop. But as many of you know, my new job is taking me pretty much consistently on the road for, for at least the last 3 months. So I have a lot to catch up on and a lot of things I want to tell you in regards to the channel as well. So for starters, let me go ahead and move the keyboard a little bit further back so it doesn't pick up on the mic as much. I am going to be using mouse and keyboard today, but like I said, my job has been sending me all over the place. I think the last time I spoke to you all about what's been going on in my life, I had been to Boston. I had been to Boston. And that's really been where I've been primarily. Let's see, I gotta remember all the keyboard controls now, but either way. But anywho, I've been a little bit of everywhere as of late. I was recently in Oklahoma. I was also just a little bit ago in North Carolina. And I was only there for a day though, so it really wasn't that huge of a trip. My last major trip had me going from it had me going from Kansas to Iowa to Massachusetts and then back to Georgia. Yeah, that sounds about right. But anyway, a lot of traveling's been going on. And as a result of that, I have had to make a couple of changes to how I usually do content, as many of you know. We did just finish Adrift, which was a very fun and enjoyable game. But one of the problems with that one was I tried to do things a little bit differently in the recording process by using XSplits in client voice recording software, which had the unfortunate side effect of certain parts of that game that were louder than others sort of drowning out my voice. As many of you will recall, I think it was part 3 or part 4 where the music just got so loud that you literally couldn't hear anything that I was saying at one point. Which for the time being, I'm going to switch back to using Audacity as my primary means of audio recording for my voice, just to make it a little bit easier to control the ups and downs of the recording software itself. That being said, see, I'm trying to listen to see if there's any indication of what monster we're dealing with today. Since I'm using mouse and keyboard, my mouse is very sensitive, so I apologize if the jerkiness of the recording is throwing anyone for a loop. See, we might be fighting Fiend. Very possible. But anyway. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So, Adrift was an amazing game. I really enjoyed it. I would guess many of you would sort of not equate. No, equate is a good word. Would sort of compare it to like a walking simulator, sort of like Dear Esther, or what's another great example of a walking simulator? The Old City. We did the Old City a while back, or at least we did a first look at the Old City, which I really need to get back and play completely to its conclusion, because I was really interested in how that game would turn out. But as far as recent news, I did get a new laptop. Unfortunately, it's mostly going to be used for in a slightly different way than we've been doing content on the channel thus far, just because it does not have a very good microphone built into it, and traveling on the road as much as I do, it doesn't make sense to buy a super expensive mobile mic, because I'm probably going to end up breaking it. But either way, it allows me to do recordings for content, but they're going to most likely be post commentaries as opposed to active commentaries. So look forward to a lot of me sort of playing. Oh god. I'm a bit rusty if you can't tell. But anyway, let's go ahead and just restart it and keep going where we are. But it'll be a lot more post commentaries as opposed to active commentaries. So I definitely want to take a look at and record some footage for Battleborn, because I've been playing a lot of that. So expect that in the next couple of weeks as well. I want to sort of do an in-depth analysis of why Battleborn is fun for me personally as opposed to other multiplayer games. And I also want to take a look at Doom, which I'm not sure if I want to do a post-commentary or an active commentary. Probably a post-commentary, just because it allows me to sort of build up my thoughts and actually portray them a little bit better than I do on the spot like I do now, where I'm having to pause a lot to find the proper words for what I'm feeling. I will be taking a look at, before I leave to go on the road again, a couple of the games that have been requested. I definitely want to do Sophie's Curse. I mean, I know that's an older game now by indie gaming standards, with people having played it probably a crap ton on other YouTube channels, but I want to take a personal analytical look at it, because I've heard it's a very similar game style to Five Nights at Freddy's, and though I appreciate Five Nights at Freddy's concept, I also see a lot of its flaws. But we'll see how that turns out. I'll probably take a look at that one first, and then decide what to take a look at on the flip side. And like I've said before, if you all want me to play any other games, I am looking for other games to play that are not horror-based. I've had a couple of requests, but the ones that I have seen are either ones that require a lot of time that I currently don't have, or are ones that I don't know if I could do proper commentary for. An good example of that was Five Nights at Freddy's World, which looks fun for me personally, but I don't know if I could give a really good commentary on it, as I have a tendency to overanalyze every little thing about a game, and I don't know if I could do a good job on that one. But there are vast examples. We should be expecting to see a couple of new indie games coming up on the market soon. Well, indie, I don't know if that is the proper term, but Mighty Number 9 seems to be wrapping up production. I know Shantae the Half Genie, which I've actually been backers for both those games, is either coming out soon-ish, or they just are working on the final steps. I know they've been getting a lot of feedback on like character design, which, if you don't know what Shantae the Half Genie is, it is another sort of I don't want to say Castlevania. It's a 2D adventure game, pretty much. Very much in the style of like Metroid or Castlevania, but it stars a half genie, which her character is really fun. I definitely recommend checking out some of the previous games that came out over the years. I know both of them are on GOG and Steam. Those are really good games to play, especially if you just want sort of a break from the mundane AAA sort of dogma that's been going around as of late, where if it's not AAA, it's not good. Shit. God, I'm bad at this game with this mouse. And I get killed again. Let's do some more. Because this is really not so much about, succeeding as it is about me sort of catching up with you all. I know it's been a while since I've actually just sort of sat down and been able to talk to you personally, because, well, a lot's been going on. But yeah, between traveling out of town a lot, I have been looking a lot into different ways of doing content. Like I said, I want to start doing post commentaries and sort of my thoughts on new games or games that are about to come out. I know that soon we're going to have Overwatch come out, which honestly, I've been playing the beta and it's really good. But I also have this sort of bad stigma to anything that is exclusively multiplayer, and I'll go more over that in my Battleborn video as well. But suffice it to say, I've never been the biggest fans of exclusively multiplayer first-person games, and that was my my poster falling over. I got the fabric, it's faux fabric, but it's a fabric poster of the world of I think it was Lothric from from Diablo. Wow, I am bad. From Dark Souls 3. And it came with the collector's edition. It's a really nice little map, but it also does not stay up with tape, which some of you may be asking, why am I using tape to hold that up? Well, I don't want to ruin it with things like thumbtacks, so yeah. I've ruined a lot of really good pieces of art over the years when I was younger with thumbtacks and the like, and I really don't feel like doing that with such a nice piece of art. But yeah, I'm rambling now, but let's get back on topic. So yeah, Sophie's Curse, probably going to be the first thing I take a look at. But let me go ahead and outline for you all right quick how content is going to work come June, because unfortunately after the end of this month, after I go to MomoCon in Atlanta, June starts, and June is actually one of the busy months for my new job, where I'm pretty much going to be on the road practically the entire month. So what I'm going to have to do is make content in advance and just sort of plan ahead, as it were. So I am going to have content created. Any feedback is always appreciated, but do keep in mind that if you notice anything wrong with the actual recording itself or the audio balance or anything, my options are going to be very limited on how I can fix that, because unfortunately, after it's uploaded, YouTube doesn't give you a whole lot of options to fix audio issues. And that's big red, so we're gonna get the frack out of here. But yeah, I'm trying to sort of work on at least 1 to 2 videos a week, 3 if possible. But it really all just depends on like how much time I have to work with. Like this week is probably the most time I'm going to have to work on content leading up to June. And that is also going to be split with other things I have to do in my real life. So we'll see how that works out. Alright. Let's see what we have behind door number 1. We have nothing behind door number 1. But yeah, just been very busy. Was really excited to get that laptop. It's a relatively decent laptop. I actually really like it. I got it a little bit cheaper than it would have been normally from Amazon. It is an Asus laptop. I think it's a G751. It's really nice. It has a 970 mobile graphics card. It's big, that's for sure. I actually had to get a specific kind of backpack to carry it, which is fine because I'm actually used to carrying a lot of equipment anyway. So that worked out pretty well. That is duct tape. I need the duct tape. But yeah, and that's Big Red being a bummer. So I'm just gonna not be near Big Red. Oh god, he's quick. I forgot how quick he was. But yeah, look forward to new content within the next couple months. Next couple of weeks, my bad. There will be content in the next couple months, but I don't know what that's going to be yet. I'm sort of playing this whole YouTube to work balance thing by ear, just because this is the first year of the new job and I don't really have a full grasp of like how the job plays out over the year. But we're gonna find out. But as of right now, anyway, it's been pretty good. I've gotten to see a lot of things. I've gotten to eat a lot of food, a lot of different places. Specifically, there have been a couple places that I've really enjoyed. I want to say there was a place in Ada, Oklahoma called like Pigskins, and it had really, really good barbecue. I definitely recommend checking that out. And there was a Mexican restaurant. I can't remember what it was called though, unfortunately. And it had quite possibly the best chicken and rice I've ever had. Like their chicken, whatever they cooked their chicken in, it was on point. It was just good. It was so good. And that's what's great about traveling, is you get to try a lot of new things. Let's see. I got to see a whole lot of new things too. I actually, whenever I was coming back a couple of weeks ago, back to Georgia, I went through New York and I actually got to see New York. I've never gotten to see New York before, which was it was an experience to say the least. I don't have anything to drop here, really, do I? No, that was the last failure in which I did not get anything done. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on with me. If you all have any questions, be sure to post a comment in the comment section below, all that fun stuff. I'll be happy to get to those as soon as I can. I've been trying to make a consistent effort to get on at least every 2 days, just to answer any comments anyone has. I'm trying to remember. I know a commenter recently requested that I open up subtitles to anyone who wants to submit them, which I have, and I greatly appreciate anyone who wants to contribute. And to that particular commenter who's, I'm sorry your name has escaped me, it's been a long couple of days, but thank you for informing me that that is actually an option. I actually did not know that you could open up subtitle contributions to viewers. So yeah, that is an awesome thing if all works out. But yeah, let's see. Definitely want to do the video on Battleborn. I've really enjoyed Battleborn. It's been I'll go into more detail on it, but suffice it to say, out of all the like new sort of first-person games that have come out, like first-person like multiplayer exclusive games that have come out, well, it's not just multiplayer exclusive, that you can play single player, but it's just not as fun. It's been really good, and I think it takes a lot from its Gearbox roots of being from the developers of Borderlands, which it definitely has that sense of humor. But I'll take a look at that, and I'll also take a look at Overwatch when it comes out, which should be soon. And both of those will be post-commentaries, so you'll have video recordings with my commentary sort of laid over it, but it will not be a live commentary. And that's just because it allows me to, like I said, get my thoughts a little bit more succinct and not as convoluted. Alright, where the heck? I need to find doors that have not been opened. Ooh, there's a door that has not been opened. But it has a fuse. Oh, take that fuse, sir. What is this? That is nothing. This is also an interesting thing about playing a game with such a sensitive mouse, is that you turn yourself around really easily with games like this. Oh, speaking of pseudo horror games, I do want to take a look at Doom within the next couple of weeks as well. That one's probably going to be post-commentary as well, so we'll see how that works out. God, he's quick. And he's loud. Not that we didn't know that already, but it's still a little bit jarring from time to time. I'm surprised that there's so few items in these crates. Nope. Oh, the music's still going. We might have bugged him. Nope, he's not bugged. He debugged himself. That's a power door. This one is not going as flawlessly as I thought it was. Then again, I've already died twice, so that's not really saying too terribly much. But this also brings up an interesting point about games like this in general. Is we've played a couple of games that have sort of followed the same narrative sort of theme, where you're someone who's trying to get away from some obscure danger. And what's interesting about that is that everyone always takes a sort of a different approach to this. And what I like about games that do it in a more aggressive style is they have a tendency to be less fickle about how things work out. Shiitake mushroom. We got our gas that we need down there. Now I just need to find keys. Yeah, I forgot how quick he can be. Pretty much, that's been a relatively decent recap of my life up to this point. This new job has taken me a lot of fun new places, but it has also just taken a lot of my time away from me to do YouTube stuff, which is both a good thing and a bad thing, because it allows me more time to think about content creation from a very analytical standpoint. Because I watch a lot of YouTubers. I've been watching specifically a lot of like Total Biscuit stuff, trying to catch up on that. And honestly, for those of you who don't know who Jim Sterling is, I love his content as well, because I think it's a really interesting satirical view of games media in general. And his stuff is really entertaining, especially a lot of the indie games that he covers, which quite a few of them are just awful. But he does it in a very unique way. I mean, this sounds like me just sort of giving away, just gushing over these amazing content creators, which Total Biscuit's been around for a good long time. He was actually one of my original subscriptions when YouTube first came out. Back when he was doing World of Warcraft stuff, which, God, that was years ago. That was a decent bit ago. And now he's allowed to do just various things as opposed to focusing on one kind of game or one figure of content, which is kind of something I would like to work toward. Sort of that not belief, but that notion of being able to cover pretty much whatever I want and not be token to one particular genre, which became the case for quite a bit. Okay, Big Red, you just really need to calm the shit down. Calm down, buddy. Yeah, that's pretty much been my mindset for the last couple of weeks, is while I haven't been able to record directly, I have been able to take a long stare at what I've been doing so far and how I can improve it, which is always good with content creation. You don't want to try to just do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, because that's what we call the definition of insanity. Which no one ever accused me of being sane, but, you know. Okay, I have clearly missed something. Interesting. Now I do need to check the engine room real quick, so if I can figure out how to get to that would be fan-bloody-tastic. But honestly, I'm thinking I'm probably going to call the episode early here. This probably won't be a complete run, but we'll see what we can do. We'll get somewhere relatively not at death's door, and then we'll close up the video right quick. I just wanted to sit down and have a long chat with all of you, and just sort of give you perspective on what's been going on as far as content creation and my life. It's always good to sort of connect more with my audience, because it allows me to sort of get a feel on what you all think about the channel, and I definitely do recommend you all post a comment in the comment section below if you have any questions for me, whether it be about the channel, about a particular game you would like to see on the channel, my life personally, where I've been the last couple of months as far as travel goes, and I will be more than happy to help you out with all that. But with that being said, I am going to probably go ahead and just call the episode here, park myself next to the helicopter. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, please make sure to post a comment in the comment section below, and you know what to do with all the other stuff. If you like this video, please make sure to like the video, comment in the comment section below, share, subscribe, follow me on social media, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.